Genetics is an incredibly cruel cosmic joke. This is what this subscriber said, which is what prompted this video to be created. So if you are someone out there that truly does believe that your genetics is the main reason holding you back from seeing any results in the gym, today's video is definitely for you, because this subscriber we're going to break down into video is almost like a case study of a real world example of what it looks like down the line when you consistently blame your genetics for your results in the gym. So watch this video. It's going to be very detailed, and we're going to break down all the pitfalls that got this subscriber to the mindset that they're currently at after 5 years of spending time in the gym, aiming to try and build a better physique. So hopefully it will help those of you out there watching, because I would hate for you to end up in the position that this person has found themselves in. So the first thing I want to say is I actually filmed this video in May, so that's a good like what 5-6 months ago, but I just didn't post it because at first I was like, I don't want the video to seem like I'm actually hating on this subscriber. However, I came across another person who really is suffering with truly believing that their genetics is killing all their progress, which then reminded me that I had this video in the tuck. If you're someone that truly deep down truly believes that your genetics is the main reason why you haven't seen results, I want you to honestly look in the mirror and say that, is your training solid, like really good? If you was to give your training plan to someone else to review, would they say it's good? Then I would also say, is your diet good? Like, are you actually making decent high protein meals? Do you track your calories? Do you track your training and make sure you're progressing in the weights little by little? Not trying to do massive jumps when it comes to PRs or 1 rep maxes, but literally making sure that the reps that you're doing 3 sets of 10 of, is the weight increasing over time? Are all little metrics like these being tracked, and are you actually pushing yourself in the gym, or are you just showing up? Because even though showing up is a vital part of it and is definitely something that should not be overlooked, that alone, if you're someone that does struggle to build muscle, is not enough to help you see results. You have to start ticking off more boxes. If you truly believe that you are genetically ungifted, you have to work harder to make sure you see results. Whereas someone that maybe have average genetics can go to the gym and do things maybe 60 to 70% right and see improvements, you may be that person that has to do like 80 to 90% to get similar results. It may sound rough to hear and it may sound unfair, but that's the reality. So I'll leave the rest to previous TJ of the past to go over in more depth. So this subscriber, to set the scene, they definitely have a very poor mindset when it comes to how to build a good physique and what realistically should be done. And I feel like every message I've read from them, without being a douche to you, like, I'm going to be blunt in this video to give you honest, real feedback from my opinion to you. I do think that you have been setting yourself up for failure from the beginning, and I'm going to go through that in this video because I don't want other people to be in your footsteps, and also I don't want you to be in your footsteps. Like, I want you to hop out them shoes, even if you need to step away for a while, then come back with a fresher mindset. So without further ado, we're going to go into their comments. So the first few comments we're going to go through, actually we're commenting on this video here. It's a video where I break down why people like going to the gym in response to this girl here that was more or less saying she wants to get into the gym, but she doesn't know how to kind of make it a hobby that she enjoys. And we're kind of breaking that video. It was a very wholesome video. A lot of people in the comments was talking about how much they enjoy the gym and how they once didn't like it. And you know, it was a good mixture of like positive energy. And this person just jumped in with like the most saddening comment, and that's what kind of made me stand out and read it and reply back. So just to give you the standpoint of where it came from, everyone was up here on energy in terms of like happiness and just kind of positive messages about the gym, and this was his response. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I'm just saying that just to give you a context as to what video he commented on. So on that video, this is what he commented: I'm currently picking up the pieces of myself after what almost feels like 5 years of running face first into a brick wall that is my own genetics. I am worse off both physically and especially mentally than I was when I was 26, having never put any genuine effort into my physique. Genetics is an incredibly cruel cosmic joke. You can only know if you have bad genetics if you care a lot, but the more you care, the more those bad genetics will crush you into a pitiful pile of bloody slime. So as you can probably tell, that's a very downbeat message, right? Like, it just sounds like in the dumps, especially based off the video it was commented on. I respond back with, are you saying that your genetics were so bad that you've never seen any progress in 5 years? And the reason I come to that, because I know a lot of people will say that they have bad genetics, but even with bad genetics, you will see progress in 5 years of training. You may not end up looking like the most naturally elite looking physique, but if you have a very terrible physique, you can always improve, no matter where you are. So when these people are saying that they can't improve at all, they are chatting shit. You know what I mean? You may not be able to look like the best, fittest person on the planet, but you can definitely improve your standpoint. And in 5 years of real solid effort when it comes to your training and nutrition, you should be able to see some sort of tangible results physically, strength wise, and usually mentally. But I can understand that may be one that we can potentially say is not always guaranteed, because some people do get body dysmorphia. But in terms of just if you actually put in the work, your body is the canvas. If you've been drawing artwork on that canvas, it is going to make changes. So that's something I wanted to put out there. He then replies back with no progress to be proud of. No. So I reply back with basically saying, so you're telling me even outside of just the visuals, you haven't seen no improvement in your strength, your endurance, just anything else other than just like, you know, getting six-pack abs. He then responds back to that with this, which I thought was quite silly. He then says, well, I don't care about any of those things. I don't care if it made me as strong as Eddie Hall. The only thing I care about is the look, and I didn't come close. So yes, I got stronger, but no, that doesn't mean anything to me. Straight away, you can start to see it's a terrible mindset. So he did get improvements, like he managed to get stronger, and I'm going to say likely his endurance got better too, and his general fitness level improved, but he didn't get the physique he wanted. But you're going to soon realize, based on more of his comments, that what he classes as what he wanted to achieve, the reason why he feels like he made no progress is because there's one thing about shooting for the stars and the moons, but he shot way too high. He shot for other planets. So we're going to go into the rest of his comments now. And one thing I want to obviously highlight is that he said he started at 26, because that's when he said he was not trained at all. And now it's 5 years later, so he's like, what, 31 or whatever. And this is the mindset that he has. So I'm replying back to him here, basically saying that in these 5 years, have you just done this solo dolo? Did you hire a coach? If this is really what you wanted and physical, visual progress is what you wanted, which is understandable, have you actually hired someone to help you with this? Or have you just been doing it and winging it by yourself? I said, in general, even with bad genetics, you can improve your physique by make sure your program is on point, make sure your diet's good, because in 5 years, no matter what you're saying with bad genetics, you can definitely see improvements. And people that say they can't, realistically, you are making a huge excuse, especially when you're a newbie and beginner. The problem is that a lot of people have goals that are outside of their feasibility. So because obviously this isn't the first pattern with this person, this has been months upon months, damn near almost a year of me seeing similar comments of this fashion, and he's mentioned briefly like he's not achieving whatever he wants. So I just said to him point blank, give me some influential celebrities that were your goal physique, just so I can kind of see what you were shooting for, because this is the key thing I always do when people tell me that they're not achieving their goals. I always tell them, just find me a celebrity with a similar physique that you're aiming for, so I can just visually see. And this is when you start seeing things get revealed. And this is the list of people he came back with. If you are familiar with movies as of late, you'll know that all the people on this list, apart from one I didn't actually know, which is the first one, which is Christopher Schauman. I had no idea who that person was, but everybody else on the list, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Kumail Nanjiani, all these people I already know have super physiological advantages in regards to help outside of just the gym. For example, these are people are getting shredded for movie star roles, but I just wanted to set the stage that this person that's talking about they never got close to their goal is because they're setting physiques that they just can't reach. So this Christopher Schauman, I had no idea who they was, so I went, okay, I'm at least Google the first one because I have never seen him before. And upon Google searching, this is the physique that he chose as his initial physique that he didn't get close to. This is a very, 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 very good physique. You know what I mean? Don't make it seem like it's just easy to achieve. So of course, I went and found some other pictures of this guy. This is the physique that this, I'm not gonna say random, but this subscriber was aiming for out the gate. Like this is before he's even put his reps into training. Like day one, this is the kind of physique that he was expecting to achieve and he hasn't got close. And this started to unravel the mindset of how I can see why he feels so, like just so low, because yeah, most people in the gym, even to be honest with a little bit of extra help, aren't going to look like this. This is a very good physique. And if you're claiming that you have bad genetics, you shouldn't have even had this as a goal in the first place. So putting this guy aside for a second, for those of you watching, if you're looking at physiques like this, and this is like day one, I understand idealistically going, oh, I would love to have a physique like that one day. But in terms of realisticness, especially because this person's not young, he was like 26 when he started. If you're looking at physiques like that and saying that that's the physique I want straight away, I'm not saying this physique isn't 100% attainable. I'm just going to say that the majority of people are not going to get to that level. That requires a lot of sacrifice, dedication, and also having a genetic lottery. Then we're not even going to factor in potentially if this person used anything to help get to that point, because with celebrities and movie stars, we all know usually to help them along, they often use things. So you as a normal regular person that probably has a 9-to-5 job, you choosing that as your physique when your day job probably is answering phones or something is a little bit out of reach. It shouldn't have even been probably in your ballpark. And if you were going to pick a George of the Jungle physique, you should have went with the original, which was Brendan Fraser, because at least Brendan Fraser had a physique that even in this movie still looks pretty damn good. It's more achievable. It's not crazy ridiculous on muscle mass. He's just basically very low body fat, which a good level of people can achieve. So I do feel like from the beginning, you sort of set yourself up for failure because the physiques that you were shooting for were ridiculous. You also mentioned Thor in 2011 because this is Thor in the first movie. As you can see here, that is some solid beef on that guy's physique. That is pretty hench here. And just to prove the point more, I'm going to show the video clip just so you can see how muscular this dude is. I'm going to try and move on and not dwell on it too much, but I just wanted to make it obvious that for those of you watching, this is what happens, like the mindset wise, when you start choosing physiques that are ridiculous. Like this one is clearly enhanced. Like the fact that these are the physiques that a regular person is trying to compete with is insane. Like if you know him from movies, he used to be like really fat and doughy, and within 2 years, because he got listed in a Marvel movie, he managed to go from super pudgy and doughy into this sort of physique. So do you really think that just 2 years in the gym he managed to build this? Really? If you do, then bro, I got some stuff to sell you. If we go back to his message, you can see here at the very end, he just says like some pecs and some shoulders. That's all I really asked for. And he's talking about those physiques that we just saw as if they weren't exceptional. Like he's not like he's asking for like a very, like, oh, I just want like maybe like a swimmer's build, a little bit of toned muscles and be a bit slender. He's chosen very aesthetically movie star bulky builds. They may not look like pro bodybuilders like Ronnie Coleman, but they're definitely like top level physiques that are much more than just chest and shoulder. Chest and shoulders is like if you wanted a physique like mine. Even though this is probably a better picture of me, this is, if you just said, oh, I want to look a little bit better, this, I would say, in my opinion, is still a good physique. You know what I mean? It's not elite, it's not super great, but it's, for me anyways, one of my best shapes I've ever been in. Here I'm 5'7", around 162 or 61 pounds. That's my weight, that's how I look like in that physique. It's just coincidental that the actual caption says, you're so lucky you got those genes, but you know, it's missing out the actual hard work you do. But the point I'm trying to get at is that even if you had picked a physique like mine, I could say, okay, that's more understandable because it's much more slimmer. Like, it's still nowhere near as good as the physiques that you said you wanted as your goal. And that's my physique after like 7-8 years of weight training. So my response back to this guy in this moment, the summary is, you can pause it and read it. But in essence, I just said, you say just some muscle, but you've listed people that look pretty damn exceptional. You haven't picked just like regular bums that look a little bit good in shape. You've chosen like basically the top of the top in terms of like movie star type level physiques. And you've chosen those, and let's be real, that's just way out of your league. And even if like you haven't got to those levels, I'm pretty sure in 5 years you can definitely still improve. And I basically just say that the goals that you have set is one of the reasons that was a pitfall for you to actually fail, because you've just basically set yourself a task that you probably was never ever gonna have a chance of even completing. And to end off my reply to him, I basically said to him that you need to be realistic with your goals because they're insane. And you're also not even factoring the fact that some of these people have likely used drugs to get to these physiques, aka steroids, PEDs, SARMs, whatever the thing is, it's normally not homegrown gains. So the fact you're comparing to these is already messing you up from the jump. And I've got a couple more comments that I managed to, like I typed in his name on the YouTube and just kind of looked at some of his previous messages. And here is another message that he's written. I cannot remember what this was in response to regards to me. In essence, he just says, honestly, I don't even know anymore. I did the whole gym cell thing for years and got nothing back. The past 3 weeks, I've finally broken the habit of working out. I've forgotten what it's actually like to actually feel not in pain. Okay, based on that comment, I think his reply was on this video talking about bodybuilding food shops. But in general, that right there again isn't a good message that he should be soaking in his head. And the unfortunate sad thing is that there are many people out there that feel the same way he does. Like literally, if you just take your ass to Reddit, you will see some of the most depressing, downhearted messages of all time. And thankfully, if you read through that paragraph at some point, if you pause it, you'll see someone else underneath, right? Something that I would have personally said, which is we're all not going to be models or superstar bodybuilders, but we can all make the best of what we've got. Stop comparing and optimize what you have. And that is probably the perfect summation of what I truly believe. If someone even did have truly bad genetics, you can always improve your standpoint. Will you be able to step on stage and be a pro bodybuilder? Probably not. But will you be able to look better than what you previously did? Yes. And if you haven't after 5, 6, 7 years of training, I'm gonna be honest and say that chances are whatever you've been doing has not been done properly, and you should probably seek out probably a coach or someone of a professional standard to give you tips. If you've been winging it, doing it yourself and not seeing results, chances are that you are the problem that is stopping you from actually seeing results. Anyways, people, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, even though it's kind of a little bit more of a topic, please let me know down below and share it with anybody you feel like you potentially know is going through this. Because trust me, I got someone going through this right now, and I may just send them this video because it probably will help them too. Anyways, check out another video if you want to see one. If not, see you in the next video.